All right, everybody. This is our Cognos Analytics session 2, and I'm Elena, Cognos Administrator. All right. So, for tonight, here is the agenda. We're gonna talk about the decision tree model, which I covered a little bit in the last session. We're gonna talk about the dashboards and infographics and stories, and of course, your questions, right? So, what did we do last time? We looked at the claims and weather data that stores customer information, including the state where they live, right? Their employment status, the car, the vehicles that they drive, the car insurance that they have, what type of accidents that they had, and based on that information, we attempt to estimate what our total claim amount could be. This is a partial data screenshot. And also, as you may recall, our data had some missing values. So we have to take care of those missing values, right? So a lot of data was missing effective to date, right? So if effective to date was missing, it was missing as well a lot of other data. So we decided to filter out those rows altogether. Then if accident type was unknown, we treated it as a separate category called others, right? We added some calculations. We defined the selectable filters that we can turn on and off, etc., right? We did some data exploration. What we're going to do more in depth today is decision tree. I'm just going to review it. So what is a decision tree? Let's think about it. It's a hierarchy, right? So it contains, it has a root node, right? And it has internal nodes and a leaf node. So the branches, they connect the nodes. And it shows us how we can predict, in our case, target is a total claim amount. So the whole idea is to find the best combination of predictors, such as location, vehicle type, right? The employment status. We want to find the best combination of predictors. And the whole idea is that what if I have brand new record for the new customer, new claim? How do we use the tree to predict to estimate what our total claim could be, right? So you in this case, the total claim amount is a numeric, right? So what's happening is it estimates the value. But if you're trying to predict something categorical, right, such as user education level, then you're gonna be predicting the specific class label. It's gonna be using different color for each label, right? So if you look at it, how does decision tree look like? Let's go back, and we had those claims and weather data exploration, right? Where we created the decision tree. But see, this is a little bit tricky. What you need to do, you might want to zoom. So how do you do that? It's in here, see this guy here, and then you may want to choose to view full screen. Let's see if that's it's in here, this one. Let's try see, why am I doing it? Because I want to maximize how our decision tree looks like, so that I can read, I can show you, and you can see my screen better, right? So I'm going to, but first of all, for the fields, what fields am I looking at? The target is what? Total claim amount. Target is specify what I want to predict, right? But let's close this area too, because we want this to be as more readable as possible, right? You may also, sometimes you may need to adjust the zoom setting here, right? You may need to adjust sometimes because you want it to be readable. But let's also note that these nodes here, they can be collapsed. I'm going to collapse, and I'm going to show you again how to read the decision tree. So we start reading the decision tree from the left. This node here on the left, it represents all data that you have. This node here is all data in a data set. Then if you look the color code, right? If you hover, this is an overall average total claim amount. Overall data. See this? It's 100% of records that you have, right? So you have the average, you have the standard deviation here, and the total number of records. Then what you do, if you remember earlier we did driver analysis, and the first one-way driver with the highest range was what? Location type. So here it is. This is a location type. Based on the location type, we take the next pass. Like for example, here, if the location code is rural, we take this pass of the tree. Uh, See here, this is the average total claim amount for rural location. It's $109. You see the standard deviation, and you see that 19% of your data falls under this category. Now I'm trying to expand it. There is no way to expand it. Why? Well, because this is a terminal node. There is no way. What it's trying to do is it's trying to add other predictors as long as there is an information gain, right? So there is no more information gain for this branch. So if it's rural, we are done. Now, if you take a look at how the nodes look like, do you see this little like a box here, little underline? That means that the node, if you expand it, there are more. There is a next layer splitting. So now we know our location is what's here. This is the urban, right? We know it's urban. You click here, we expand. Next one, we're gonna look at the vehicle type, right? So if our vehicle type is two-door car or four-door car, then we take this path. And this is our average total claim amount for two-door car or four-door car. In other words, how do we read this? We say if the location is so if the location is urban and the vehicle type is a two-door or four-door car, then estimated average total claim amount is $280. Right? Then you're gonna click on this to see, well, this node doesn't expand further. Okay? And we're gonna look at this node and you keep going, right? Now this node here, what is this location? What is suburban? And please note that most of our data falls under where location code is suburban. This is where our most data is. So if location code is suburban, you have to expand this branch. What is it going to do next? It's going to look at the vehicle type. So location code is if location is suburban and vehicle type is two-door or four-door car, here is an estimated total claim amount, right? And you keep going. You can say, okay, here, if your vehicle class is SUV and sport car, so we know the location, suburban and vehicle class. See, you're going here, vehicle class SUV and sports car. Then over here, this is it's a luxury car. So you know location is suburban and the car is luxury. Well, apparently, uh, this node is expandable. So it means that the information is gained by using another column, another predictor as a split, right? So I like to look at the rules where majority of data flows. However, if the rule is not frequent, it does not mean that it's not important, all right? But for right now, let's click here. Now what? So we have here, location is, see this, it's all location. Location is a suburban, right? Then the vehicle is a two-door or four-door car. And what's going on in here? Coverage is basic. So this is an estimated total claim amount. And we can keep going here. So when do we stop? It's gonna stop when no more information is getting gained by adding other predictors. And suppose that I was trying to split this node over here. If after splitting that node, I get less than 25 records in the child node, the child node are merged. It means that I cannot split this node. In other words, see, if I try to split this node and it results in nodes with under 25 records, then I cannot do the split. Also, the tree is limited to 36 nodes. So that's another thing to consider. Now, and as I said, if rule is not frequent, it does not mean that it's not important. So here are those are the luxury cars, and you probably want to look at what's going on for luxury car. So again, here, but instead of either for this branch, instead of coverage, you take looking at the employment type. Then you're looking at the effective due date if if somebody is unemployed, right? So basically, when I get brand new record, claim record, what I would do, I would start from the top and I would traverse my tree just to see where is the best fit for my new record, right? So that's a decision tree. However, what it does not visualize it does not show the percentage of data to which the rule applies unless I hover over the node. There is a way to visualize the percentage of data. So how do we do that? First of all, I'm going to collapse all of this guys here, right? I'm going to collapse. And you may have noticed there is something called the sunburst. It's just another way and different visualization, right? I'm going to collapse this one. Okay, so this is the location. This is the all data. And here is the split by location. So if I go here to the three sunbursts, what's going on in here? So here is what? This is all data represented in a circle. This is all. Next, what I'm taking location code and I'm splitting data based on location code, right? So the color code of the segment indicates the average total claim amount of records that fall into the segment. So see that this is the suburban, and as you can see, approximately 2/3 of the data falls in here, right? So let me see what's in the chat. Do we have questions already? Something is covering the microphone. Audio is not clear. That's interesting. How about now? Is it better now? Yes, okay. I'm trying. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on, guys. Thank you for bringing to my attention. So here, basically, see this? So I'm looking at suburban, rural, and urban. But now, do you see this line over here? It means that this segment is splittable further, right? So what I do, I click here. I look at my next column that is used for splitting, right? So this is a vehicle type. This is a vehicle type within suburban location, see? And it shows me the percentage. I can see the percentage of vehicle to which this rule here applies. See? Here we go. And I can keep on going. So this is another way to visualize the tree. Okay? Now, another way is to look at the rules. Okay? So here, this is English representation of the rule. Okay? So here we go. This is in English way. So you got that piece here. Right? So this is for decision tree. Remember that. And you're gonna traverse for this here, for this visualization, you traverse from inside outside. Right? For the decision tree, we go from left to right. But what would have happened if you are predicting categorical column? Let's try to see. I have one example in here for the categorical. And the reason I'm saying that because you do have a data set where you're looking at the categorical. Let's actually do that. So see this, I'm gonna do that now. So I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna add a new card. See this? New card. And now I'm gonna choose type and I'm gonna choose my type. What visualization is that? It's a decision tree, right? Decision tree. And just for the sake of example, let's look at the employment type, right? In employment status, okay? So I can just drag and drop in here. This gives me the decision tree for employment status. I want you to see the difference here. For the categorical columns, we are predicting the label, okay? So the label is gonna be the most dominant. It's gonna be the most dominant value that falls into that node. Like see, for example, this is all data, right? Each color code represents the different label. To see here, most of my data is actually employed. And what am I doing? I'm looking at the income, and based on the income, I'm going to take a different path, right? Like, for example, see this here? If I hover, right? So if it falls, if income is under 25K, I'm going to take this path and I'm going to click here. Then I'm going to look at the marital status. See that? So if it's a single marital status, well, of course, you see more likely the red here, right, is unemployed. More likely people are unemployed here. But we have more, we can gain more information here, right? See this? So this, if this is a no, then that's it. It cannot split further. We're done. If this is a yes, we keep going. Then you look at the terminal node and the label is a dominant color. So in another word, the difference here is that you look at the dominant color, you don't look at the color shade. All right, for the categorical. There are some data sets where the target is categorical. Okay, just know that. Those are just the rules, see? Oh, this is nice and clear. See? If the income is greater than 45K, done, it's employed. See that it just rules in English, and you also get this three sunburst, okay? So you've got this visualization. Now, also remember that for the tree diagram, if you go to the properties, see not properties, fields rather, I'll click here and I can edit scope. What is a scope? I can choose not to use certain columns in my visualizations. Okay? How? Here, it gives me suggested selected, and I can just click on the minus sign to remove. Or if there is another column in the data that's not used here, you can add. Okay? Just know this piece here. Now, you might be wondering why Yelena is showing us this. Well, because for your next assignment, this is what you're gonna do. So let's close this out. This is what you will do. If you go to team content, right? So here is the data for your assignments. Those are units 6 through 8. And in here, you've got choice. You pick one of these data sets and you work with that data set for the rest of the assignments. Like, for example, if you choose cars, in here, it's going to be numeric target, where you're predicting the car efficiency, right? So you're going to be predicting that's a mile, you can do it's miles per gallon. You can choose to do it on a city road or on a highway. You have some choice in here, right? But this one, you're looking at if there was an invasion, there was an intrusion or not, right? So here you're going to be, it's a label. There are a couple data sets here, few data sets where you're predicting the label. Just know that, okay? And this is interesting too. It's about the prediction, the student dropout. But if you really, really want to challenge yourself, uh, you could try you could try life expectancy because it has some missing values, right? So I'll let you choose. Pick any of this and stick with it for the rest of the assignments. You're gonna do the decision tree, right? And then what you're gonna do? This will next is gonna take us to the next topic. Well, if you notice that, if you go to exploration here, what's happening in the exploration? Well, first of all, each visualization is kind of on its own. I cannot change the colors. I cannot add text. I cannot add shapes. I cannot add images. And I cannot format my visualization how it looks like, right? Then I cannot apply the filter to all of the visualization. So this is basically, I use exploration to get insights about the data, but I do not use the exploration to present my finding to the manager. That's going to take us to another topic, which is going to be the dashboards, right? We're going to create. But when you do that, when you do the dashboards, I know a lot of you have done a lot of work. You will have done a lot of work, right, in this week assignment, and you will want to reuse some of the visualizations that you created in your data exploration. How are you going to reuse the visualization in your dashboard? Well, there is a functionality called pins, right? So how do you do? You're gonna see that you're gonna pin the visualization. Pins are the visualizations set aside. So what you'll do is, oops, now I need to exit the full screen. Okay, here we go. To see that this is a visualization, right? I need to pin it. To pin it, I just click on a pin. That will add the visualization to the visualization set aside. So if this is a visualization that I use a lot in my dashboard, I probably want to pin it, okay? So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna talk about our next topic, which is the dashboard. That was decision trees, right? And what I did was, I'm gonna give you the slides. I spelled it out for you. I put an explanation, right? So for numeric, we are using the information gain. For categorical, we are looking at the error. We're trying to minimize the classification error, right? So this is just, I spelled it out for you, what was going on, what I discussed. I like to have it written so you have the slides for yourself afterwards. And this is how to change the scope, okay? Now, next topic is dashboards. So we create the dashboards to present our insight about the data. If you select dashboard, not infographic, but dashboard, you can split data among the tab, right? You can add the attractive layout. You may use a grid, right? Then you can change how your visualization looks like. And the visualization properties depend on the visualization that you are looking at, right? So unlike the exploration, you can add text, you can add pictures, images, and you can add widgets. Well, you cannot copy and paste the picture, but the image has to be online. You specify URL. Then dashboards have a view mode and an edit mode, okay? Then you can add calculations to your dashboard, but please remember that anything that you add to the dashboard will be available only in that dashboard. It will not be available anywhere else where you use the same data source, right? So if I want this to be available everywhere where I use the same data source, I will define my calculation in the data module, okay? So now, let's see how do we create a new dashboard. There are multiple ways to do that, right? So let's close this out for right now. I'm going to, oops, and remember this. If you see asterisk next to the file name, you did not save the latest change. You need to always save the latest changes, okay? So now, the way I like to do this, I just go straight. This is in my data module, and I'm gonna click on this menu, and I'm just gonna do create dashboard. Why do I like it this way? Because if you alternatively go to the menu, click on new, and if you select dashboard from here, you would need to specify the data source, right? But I don't want to be syncing. I just know that I want to use this data source. I want to use this data module. So I'll just click on this actions menu, and I'm just going to say create dashboard. Okay. Now what? Okay, so I have different templates here. I have two dashboards. Infographic is a single page. Tab dashboard, as the name says, it's split into tabs. Freeform, the problem with freeform is that it won't resize based on the screen size, right? You want the dashboard to size to adjust based on the zoom and based on the screen when you're presenting it, right? So I like to pick one of this layout. I like to do 2 by 2. Here is the thing. If you put too many visualizations, do you know what's going to happen? Depending on your connection speed, your dashboard may take a bit of time to load, right? So I like 2 by 2, but it depends on your individual work, what you're doing. Okay, so 2 by 2, but if for some reason, if I don't like this layout, I can always change the layout for my tab. So let's go ahead and hit create. What do we see in here? All right, so this is what? This is my data source. See, it picked up the claims and weather data source. I don't need to do anything else to specify the data source. So let's take a look at this. It's taking the data module, but how was the data module initially created? See that? This was the Excel file, right? I expand it and I see the calculations that I created way back in my data module. They were available in data exploration, and they're also available here. Why? Because I created them in the data module that I use as a source in here, right? And each icon tells you the column type. So here it's 2 by 2. What else is here? This area is a filters area. So I can filter all tabs, or I can filter only this current tab, and I'll show you. We'll get there. So now how you might be wondering what's next. Well, I can specify the properties, but the properties are going to be based on what you are looking at right now. So here I'm looking just at this tab. And when I click on the properties, it allows me to specify the properties of that tab. See this? Like for example, see this is a layout positioning, etc. Right? So here it's just the color. I can change the color if I want. This one is the tab label. So see here, that's a background. I can change if I want. But those are for the tabs. I can change the color of my title. Like for example, let's see what happens. I chose this. Then I want to select, the color, the bar color, right? You see that? And the fill color. I can select the fill color too. See? But this blue line, it shows which tab was selected. See, then I can click on a plus. I can add another tab. I don't have to stay with the same layout, but I'll just keep 2 by 2. Now I have 2 tabs. The default tab name is the tab 1, tab 2. It's a default. But if I want to rename that, I can rename it. See, like I clicked on it, it gives me option to edit the title, to duplicate, to change the template, or to delete. So if I want to change this title, I select edit title and put a new title, right? So those are the properties of the tab. Well, here I specified all tab at once. I can also style my individual tab if I want. Like for example, let's for this tab, I want to change how the icon looks like. See that? I can change the icon. I just did it for this example. So you know that it's possible to do. Now, what does this asterisk mean? I did not save the work, right? I need to always save the work. So I'm gonna click on a save. Now I have to put the descriptive name. Let's say claims. Oops, what's going on? The claims and weather, right? Oops, if I could type dashboard. I need to make sure that there is no file with the same name, right, in my area. So let's see. Now what? Where do I save it? Can I save it to the team content? No, I have to select my content, right? So now I named it and I'm gonna click on save. There we go, let's see. Okay, this is fine. Oh, replace existing. I'm gonna click on cancel and I'm going to change the name because I already have a file with the same name. So let's just change this like this. Two. Okay, so now I'm gonna click on save. There we go. Your dashboard has been saved. Now what we need to do, we need to add visualizations. There are multiple ways to add visualizations. One way is to just go to our pins. See this? Those are the pins, the visualizations that I created earlier. And you would just go here and you would drag and drop, right? You would drag and drop the visualizations that you did in your last assignment, right? Oops, did I select 2 by 2? Because usually if you hover, it should size based on a panel size, but I may have selected the wrong template. So how do you do that? To change template, you're gonna go, see this sounds correct. This sounds correct. Not sure what's going on. But if you resize it, it's gonna take the size of the panel. Okay? Now, let's see, I close this. Not sure why it's doing this. It does not like me today. Okay, so I can go ahead and delete this visualization and I can try re-adding something else again, right? Because it's supposed to be, all right, it's not, it does not like me today. So see, if I try to do this in tab 2, I should be able to see this works, this tab 2 works. See that? I hover the mouse cursor over the arrow and it's gonna place the visualization, it will adjust to the panel size, right? So now what we can do, we can add another visualization and I hope it likes me this time. So now I can do from scratch. I can add a new visualization from scratch. How do I do this? I have something called visualizations library, and suppose that I want to add the pie chart. Oops, it does not like me, seriously. Seriously. So what I could do is I could go ahead and I can delete this tab. I can delete this tab, delete, and now I'm going to add a new one. And I will select this layout. I'm going to go create. So now hopefully that will do it. And see this, I can move around the tabs if I want. See, I can move them around. And now this is a tab 1. Let's do this. Let's add my pie chart here. Now what? Do you remember this? Those are the fields. If you see asterisk next to the slot name, it means you must specify something here for the visualization to work. So I'm going here and I want to do the state, right? So I'm going to find, it doesn't matter, state or state code. Well, let's do state. Each slice is going to be the state. Then remember, pie chart is good to show the percentage of data. So in this case, I want to count my customers. The size is going to be what? The relative number of customers. And see this? It's customers by the state. There we go. I'm going to expand this visualization. That's a visualization in a focus mode. Minimize this. But wait a minute. The purpose of the pie chart is to see what? Percentages. And I see the number. So let's go ahead and play around with the properties. Well, I can change the color, always, right? Then here, I can change my legend. I want to show legend. It's here, right? But the problem I have here is that the legend is the first thing that gets into my eyes, right? So if I want, I can change the position. Perhaps I want it to show at the bottom under my visualization. So I can do that. Then I can select the alignment also if I want, right? Now, what else in here? If I scroll down, I want to keep all of this title, and here you can change the font color, right? Then there are properties of the chart itself. So, first of all, you want to display the percentages because that's the main purpose of the pie chart. I want to see the percentage of my data, okay? So I change this to percentages right away. So this is show the value labels. These are the value labels, right? So now this is just shows the edge angle. So far so good. But I also want to change the appearance of this. I want to look it like a donut. And do you see this? This here shows the total number of customers in here. So how do I know that it's doing the total and not some kind of fancy averages? Because if I go to fields, right? If I go to fields, I can see, oops, not filters, fields. And then I can see here, if I go to the size and I go to summarize, I can see it's doing the count distinct, the distinct number of customers. Why distinct? Because each customer may have multiple claims, okay? Now here, what else I did not show you? There are different properties. There are in general properties of visualization such as appearance, and you can add border color if you like. You can add this border color. See, that's gonna add border. Another thing is that if you click here, it shows you which data is being visualized. In this case, it shows you the number of customers in each state, right? So that's that. Oops. And this is gonna be all data. So let's minimize that, right? So I showed there are multiple ways to add visualizations, right? You can add from visualization library, you know that now, or you can also add the visualizations. You can use this assistant the same way as you use the assistant in data exploration. You can drag and drop fields, create new visualizations, and add visualizations from the visualization library, right? And you can also add text, and you can also add different widgets. How would you add text? It's in a widgets. See here, this is a text box, and I'm going to add it here. And in here, I can put my name here, right? This is a name, Elena. Now what I can do? Those are the properties of my text. This is the color of the text, right? Oops. I would have to highlight this text because I already typed my text. See, it's gonna change the color. Then I can change the alignment and etc. Right? So let's save this for right now. Now let's look at the filters, how filters work. So let's see, I have here what I called filters demo, dashboard filters demo. So I'm gonna click here and I'm gonna open this dashboard here. And right now, I'm just gonna do clear all, done. And I'm gonna just remove the filter. Well, I had some filter in here that I want to remove, okay? So what's going on? Oh, I see what's going on. I'm trying to edit the dashboard, which is in a view mode. I reopen the dashboard, I cannot edit it because the dashboard was in a view only mode. I need to make sure that my dashboard is in a edit mode, right? So here I've got two tabs, and here I'm showing the total claim amount by location code and a vehicle class. This is fancy visualization, right? And a summary. Here, I'm showing the percentage of customers by state code. And if I look at this visualization here, it's also percentage of customers by state code. Why did I pick it like this? Well, now I'm going to show you how the filters work. I'm going to expand this filters area. And what I need to do is I go to the source. Let me find the state, drag and drop. Right now, I'm going to put a state filter on all tabs. And I'm going to select Iowa, Kansas, and Missouri. Click done. What's going to happen right now? All my visualizations get adjusted for the state that I specified. And a filter was applied to all tabs, to both tabs, right? All right. Now, what I'll do, I'm going to delete this filter. And instead, I'm going to add a filter to this tab. How do I do this? I need to find my state, right? So let's find our state code. And if this is a little bit unclear, I have a video on dashboard filters. Okay, so this is a state code. I can drag and drop here on this tab here. Now, suppose that I want to see only Iowa and Kansas. This visualization is adjusted. However, the visualization in the second tab is not. Why? Because I applied the filter only to this tab, right? Only to the first tab. I did not apply the filter to the second tab. And you see here, you see the filters, and you also see the values that you have applied to the filter. Is that? Also, there is another type of filter, which is individual visualization. If I want to, I can just select my individual visualization and go to properties and add, well, fields, not properties. This one is fields, and I can add the local filter for this specific visualization. So just know this. Single visualization, one tab, right? Or all tabs. So different types of filters. Know that, okay? Then know that you've got the edit mode and the view mode, because see, I opened and I almost panicked. What happened? I could not edit the dashboard. That's because the dashboard was in the view mode, not in the edit mode, right? So we use dashboards for what? To present, right? Now, I prepared more examples for you. There is a demo to show you the connections. All basically what's actually happening is that all visualizations that you are looking at, they are connected. If you select the data point in one visualization, the same data point will be selected in another visualization, right? But let's see if this is a one. Let's see. Oh, this is a very detailed example that I prepared for you, and I will explain what's going on here. I numbered the tabs 1 through 5 intentionally, right? So let's go to the edit mode. So what do I have in here? Over here, I have this just a text, right? If I go to properties, then I specify the colors that I want and etc. I just customize the text, okay? And then I can specify the general properties of this widget. This is the image, but I have to specify the image link. It must end with JPG or PNG, right? So you can search Google for images, then you can right click on the image to copy image URL, but please make sure that it ends with PNG or JPG, right? I can add description if I want, and this is the general properties, appearance properties of this widget, right? So this one is just this title, and I have in here this picture of the cars, right? This here, it shows the averages for the total claim amount. So I have an overall average for the total claim amount, right? Without that, then I have another visualization that is more fancy. What is this? This is a cross tab, right? So let's expand this and let's look at the fields. What am I doing in here? Oops, fields. Okay, so I want each column to be the location code, and I want each row to be the vehicle class. Because remember, these columns were very important drivers. They were very important, they were used in a decision tree. But now I want to look at the specific numbers. I want to list the numbers, right? So I can do that. And what else I see here? This is just the summary, right? So for example, this is the average for the rural location. This is average for suburban, average for urban, and etc. So this is this visualization. And I went and changed the properties. This is a summary fill color. So that's the color of this column here and row. If I wanted to, I could also uh, hide the summaries. There is an option to hide the summaries. There is an option to change the column width, right? Then, etc. There are a lot of options that I'm gonna let you play around with. Yet, I went for a challenge here, and I made this more challenging. What am I doing in here? This one, I added two columns. If you look at the fields here, I want the column to be location code, but for the rows, I want to show vehicle class and the coverage. So this here, this is a four-door car. And for that four-door car, I'm breaking it down for basic, uh, extended, and premium coverage type. See? Here, this column is a rural location. I need to look at the intersection here. So if it's a four-door car, right? Coverage basic and rural location, this is gonna be the expected estimated average total claim amount, right? And I added those summaries here. So this row is a summary for the four-door car for each location and overall summary. So this is for all luxury cars, the summary for location, and this is the overall summary for, see, like this number here is the overall summary for a luxury car and basic coverage. But I wanted something fancy, so what I did was I specified the summary color, but then when I went to the chart, I I wanted to add the conditional color, right? So first of all, we'll see that I wanted to show the down error if if this value is less than certain amount. If it's greater than 1,000, I want to show it in red and up arrow. And if it is less than, I believe I used less than 300, something like that. I have to check. Then I want to show this down arrow. So I specify this. Oh, here it is. Well, conditional color. It's conditional color. So here I use the total claim amount for conditional color. Then I have to add the rules, and one of the, see this, if it's less than 300, what I wanted to do, I wanted to show the text color in green, no fill color, and a down arrow, right? So this is one rule. And the next rule, if it's greater than 1,000, I want to show it in red and an up arrow. See, so here I'm using the conditional formatting for this visualization. So now I'm gonna minimize that. So that's that. Now, well, notice this. If I select suburban in here, if I select this row, I'm gonna see the same data point should be selected. If I select the data point here, the same data point should be selected in all visualizations, right? The visualizations are connected. It might be a bad example. I'll show you a better example. Better example probably be, well, maybe customer demographics. Well, if I select the state, right? If I select the state, all my visualizations should be filtered by selected state. See this? Why is that? Because the visualizations are connected. All visualizations that use the same data as a source, they are connected. Okay, just know that. I can select the specific data point in one, and the same visualization, the same data point will be highlighted in others. So this is just for the highlighting. It does not filter the data being visualized. It just highlights the specific data point in your data. Save. All right. So then what else was I doing here? This was my prior assignment work. Let's just assume it this way. So you're gonna put all your what data models. You do the bull's eye diagram, you do the sunburst, you're gonna do the driver analysis and decision tree. So let's see, we put it on the same tab. Then I looked at the customer demographics, and here I looked at more information about the drivers. And of course, if I'm tired of the purple color, I can select this and I can go to properties and I can change my color. Okay, I'll let you play around with this. Okay, so now let me go to the slides to make sure that nothing was missed. So I showed you how to create a dashboard, right? So remember this, for the top dashboard, it has more than one tab. Why do we use tabs? Because it's a little way to cheat, and I'll show you how you can convert the dashboard to the story. So please make sure you do a great job on the second to last assignment, because to start the next assignment, to start the last assignment, you're going to use your second to last assignment dashboard as a starting point. So if you did a great job, less work for the last assignment, okay? And infographic is one long page. You cannot save it as a story. However, both are interactive and both have a predefined templates. You may add visualizations from your pins. You may create new visualizations, right? So, and also you can see the data tray. In the data tray, you see which data is being visualized, okay? So I'm just summarizing. You're gonna have the slides after this, okay? So now, okay, this is just a visual. I spelled out the interface for you, right? And I showed you how to save the dashboard. And very important, you're gonna save to my content. If you try to save to the team content, the save button will be grayed out because you don't have permission to save to team content, right? Okay, so this is just talking about the dashboard properties, the top properties. I showed you that. Multiple ways to get visualizations. I showed you that, right? You can just drag and drop visualization from the library, and you're gonna play around with some of them for assignment. Jesus, I just show you can drag and drop. Then you specify what you're visualizing and you adjust, you edit the properties. And here it's an example of the pie chart. I showed you how I did it. Here I'm showing you the pie chart, but then there is a video where I'm showing you the crossed up. Okay? So please watch that. It will help you get better idea. See, so those are the properties here. See? Changing it to look like a donut, etc. How to display stuff. It's one example here. Then you can use the pins. You just select the pins and drag and drop to where you want to put the visualization, right? Then here I just showed you how to add text, and I also created a video on this, on adding text, on adding images, and on adding widgets. You may edit the text properties. Well, you know, this is maybe similar, somewhat similar to the Word, because in the Word you have properties such as bold, italic, right, indentation. Something along this line is available here, right? You edit the text properties. Then this is how to add the image. You need to find the image URL, right? And then you just specify the URL and it will show here. You don't copy and paste image. Remember that. Well, this just shows you that the widgets are connected. I select one state here, and the same state got selected in all visualization where I use the same data source. It's important. It where visualization where you use the same data source. Okay. So now this is just about the applying filter. I put a nice summary. Different types of filter. You can apply this filter to specific visualization. You can apply the filter to one tab or all tabs, okay? You cannot apply, if you have 5 tabs, you cannot apply the same filter to 5 tabs. You would have to apply it 5, well, if you suppose that you have 5 tabs, you want to apply filter to 2 out of 5 tabs. You would need to define it on each of the 2 tabs, okay? Well, this is just, now, we were looking at the dashboard, right? However, dashboard is not a narrative. Well, see this, I have 4 pages, but the limitation is I do not specify the animation. How do I go back between the first tab and the second tab? What is the transition? For how long do I show each tab? That's going to lead us to another topic. And another topic is the story. You can create the story from scratch, right? The story is an overtime narrative, and it contains the scene. And on each scene is a container. On each scene, you specify the timing, the timeline where objects, where visualization on that scene appear and disappear, right? So now make sure that you did a great job on your second to last assignment, because right now I'm going to show you how to save your dashboard as a story. Way to cheat, right? So take a look at this. You're going to click here. See this next to the floppy disk? Do you see this option, save a story? I'm going to do that now. Save a story. I have two choices of the story. Guided journey, right? And slideshow. Main difference is whether the data will display on the same canvas or not. But at the moment, I'm just going to keep the slideshow. This is similar to the PowerPoint presentation. Not quite, but similar concept. I selected this template and I'm going to click on select. Now I need to save it. See this? By default, it's going to take the dashboard name and it's going to prefix it with a story. See this? I need to specify where I want to save it. Not the team content. I'm saving it to where? My content. And I'm going to go here, click save. Okay. Now what's going to happen? Watch. This opened up the story. The story contains the scenes. I intentionally numbered each tab from 1 through 5. So that way you could see each tab becomes a scene in a story. The story also has a view mode and an edit mode. So let's turn off the edit mode and let's see what's gonna happen. I can try to play it, right? So I play this thing. Right now, nothing really happening. Why? Because I didn't define. Well, first thing that I want to do, probably, I want to play all scenes. So let's see what's gonna happen. But again, I didn't define anything, right? I see everything. I see all my objects. See, so this is just transitioning, and the default scene duration is 5 seconds. It's a default. So I see all of my visualizations. But wait a minute, Yelena said that I can specify when the visualizations are visible. Well, we're gonna take care of it right now. So now I need to flip it back to the edit mode, right? Oops. This is the edit mode. And now I'm going to select the scene that I want. Well, let's say I'm going to select this one. And I click here. What is this? This is a scene timeline. And each bar represents the object on the scene. In this case, I have 4 objects, right? So here I have average, average summary total claim amount. Then I have total claim amount by location. Jesus, I've got these 4 guys. So how do I specify when to show and not to show? Suppose that I don't want my overall average to appear until the 3rd second. So I drag and drop this edge here, right? Then suppose that I want something else. Well, am I limited to only 5 seconds? No, I can extend this. See? I can extend this to the 6 seconds. Just an example. So I'm extending this, but all of them but last one. Just an example. Then perhaps, let's say last one, it will disappear first, right? It will disappear after 4 seconds. So now I can preview that slide, right? Audio is soft. I'm trying my best. Is it better now? Better now? Something is going on with the audio. Trying. Okay, now. Oh, now I'm not sharing, right? Am I sharing? Yeah, still sharing. Okay, so let's go back. Okay, now, uh, I'm going to play. Watch what's happening. Oops. See, disappeared. I specify when my objects appear and when my object disappear, right? I specify that, all right? So you specify the timeline when things show and when things do not show. Okay, good. So now I can go here and I can change, well, not, I can go to the properties, and the properties that I specify depend on what I have selected, right? I don't want to select anything. I want to change the overall properties. I don't want to select visualization, no, no, no. So let's unselect this. I'm gonna minimize this. By here, I unselected. But see the properties here, I want to change the scene transition, right? So now, when I exit the edit mode and when I play this, I want to start playing from the first scene, but okay, let's see. Let's play. Let's play this one. Previous. I want to go back to the first one. See, it's playing right now. Oops, sorry. Okay, it's playing right now. Take a look at what's gonna happen at the end. See this? Transition. See this how? So this is the transition between the scenes. And each scene is using the same canvas. See? So this is what's happening. I specify how I want to change from one to the next. Okay? Now I'm going to do something else. I'm gonna click on edit here, properties, and I select this guided journey. I like guided journey also. So now I go here and I'll select this one. Well, see, for this one, the first here shows me all of my scenes. See, all of my scenes appear here. So if I close the filters area, if I close this is one way to submit the work, because take a look, you see all of this. Oops. No, don't drag and drop. Undo, undo. You can undo, redo here, see? But this is probably one way where you could submit the work, but you probably want to go to, oops, you would probably want to go, you would probably want to change the zoom, okay? But, well, I'm just showing you that this is a nice view. I like it this way. I like this layout. But when I play it, let's exit edit mode. So I'm gonna play it right now. See, I'm playing this. It's different. I need to specify the transition, right? I would have to change the zoom to be able to see all visualizations clearly. All right? You would have to adjust the zoom settings. So let's see. Okay, I adjusted the zoom. It's much easier then, right? With adjusted zoom, you can see it better. So now, see this? It's playing all of these things, and you can see here, I specify when I wanted to see each one, and etc. So this is much easier for users because they can specify, you specify the timing. And if you believe that, you can, Sorry. So what you did is you're gonna save what you have in your dashboard, but then the homework does not stop there. What you're gonna do is you're gonna add more things. How do you do this? See this? Here, you're gonna click here and you're going to choose the template. See? This is just an example. I added new scene and you're gonna add what? Visualizations and text. Something similar to how you edit visualizations in a dashboard. You can add visualizations to the story. But again, I do recommend to start as saving your dashboard as a story. That way, you're not starting from scratch, right? And again, see this, I added this guy here. If I don't like it, I can do what? Undo, right? I can do undo. See here, I undid and save. Okay? The story has been saved. Now, another way to do this, let's close this out and let's close this out. Make sure that you close all your work. It's extremely important and I don't know how to emphasize it. Okay? Now, I can do it differently. I can go to new and I can select story. No problem. But the problem is I will have to specify the data. The way I created it last time, I just went in and I saved the dashboard as a story. When I did that, the data was picked up, right? Here, no way. I would have to select the source, then it's in my content, and I need to remember what I saved it. See, this is claims and weather data module, add, then you would be adding strings one by one. So this is a long way to do it. And we want to work smart. We want to create dashboard first. But remember this, you save dashboard as a story. Any change that you make to your dashboard after that will not apply to the story. So please make sure that you are done first, okay? Then save. I'm not gonna save this. Another thing I need to point out that there is a dependency and very bad dependency between data and everything where you use the data as a source. Well, see here, I I had I had the data, right? This is a data claims and weather. This is Excel file that was uploaded. Some of you may think, aha, I created the data module from the data. May I just delete the data? No. If you delete this data, your data module is going to be invalid. If your data module is going to be invalid, everything else where you use the data module as a source will be invalid. And there is no way to fix it. Absolutely no way. Even if I upload, if I create another data module with the same name, nope, that's not gonna do it because each data module has an ID, right? It has an ID that is associated with it. Like see this, if I look at the properties, not sure if it shows, oh yes it does. Take a look at this. This specific data module has an ID. When you create exploration, it will be pointing to that ID. That's how it knows that you're using this specific data module for visualization, see? But if I delete it, right, when I create new one with the same name, it's gonna be different ID. So all your visualizations are pointing to this ID, which no longer exists. So what's gonna happen? That's it. You will have to do the assignment all over. Let's say this way. So sorry, but it did happen to a student before. So I need you to be extra careful, okay? Please be careful with deletions. If you're not sure, create a subfolder called trash and dump it into that subfolder. At least you're not gonna lose the work. You know what I'm saying? Well, don't worry about this. Okay, so there we go. See this is ID, and I have to show you that part. So let's close. Each of these is associated with the ID. So now let's go back. If I exit the full screen, trying to, oh, there we go. Exit full screen because I need to, I notice this, it resizes as I adjust the screen size. Excellent. It's a 508 compliant, right? When the screen resizes each time I change the screen size. So let's go to our slides. This is how to create a brand new story. But again, this is not the method I would choose, right? So this is talking about the different, a different transition style, different, right? So each scene on different canvas and each scene on the same canvas. So this is just the different areas. Remember, you can add pin visualization. You can add new visualizations, right? You can use the assistant at the top similar way you use it in exploration. Hopefully, all of you are watching the videos, right? So this is how to change the scene duration. We talked about that piece, right? And then you save your story. This is how to save dashboard as a story, sorry. So that exports it as a story and you work on your story from there, right? So this is just shows you the correspondence. The top becomes the scene, see? But please make sure your dashboard is ready, okay? Now the floor is open for questions. Anything you want to ask me. By this time, you are somewhat experts in the software, right? So feel free, anything you want to comment on. You all know what you need to do, right? For the next 3 assignments. You will use the same data set that you choose from the folder for the last 3 assignments, right? You're going to play around with the properties, give yourself time, start early. Anything, anybody you want to ask me while I'm here, it's a good opportunity to ask questions. I love questions. Let's look at the chat. Well, yes, and you submit the ticket. Either me or Mike are gonna pick it up. Okay, the question is there is a way to update the exploration title name? Okay, in the dashboard, yes. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. So I have a dashboard, right? Hold on. Okay, so let's go ahead and open the dashboard, right? Here. So this is a dashboard. I see here customer by state. So here I can go ahead and I can, okay, first of all, the dashboard must be what? In the edit mode. Yelena forgets it. Okay, see this? I double click on the title and I can say customer percentage by state. See this? It's possible. This is what I'm doing. I updated the title just now. Then, in addition, see this? I have the title selected. I can go to text details and I can change the font here. And also this toolbar pops up and I can change my font here. Did I answer the question? Please let me know if I answered the question. I want to make sure that, okay, thank you. Can we get more videos on the story? Yes, I'm gonna work on it, okay? I'm gonna try to make time this weekend to create the videos, okay? Other samples we can use. Yes, I think there are samples. Let me take a look here. Well, because some of the samples, they came pre-installed. Okay, I don't want to make change and save changes. Okay, so if I go here, team content, right? Team content. Let's take a look at this. I have the samples here. Uh, let's take a look at my available samples. So, so let's take a look. Like here, for example, let's see by business function. I'm gonna try to find something. This is a customer experience dashboard. See, I've got some dashboards, data and dashboard. You can look at those dashboards here. Dashboards, and in here, this is a dashboard. See, so at least some samples. Then you can use. Well, you can look at this by feature, and you just play around. Uh, let's say, no, this is by feature. We're not doing notebooks, so I would probably do, let's try by business function. This is customer experience, right? Go up by industry, and suppose I want the education, and see this, I have dashboard and storage for education. See this? No, this is a story. But to play around, you would need to save a copy to your my content area, see? This was installed with the software. And if you look at the samples, that's almost the same thing, pretty much, right? So you can look at it, you can poke around in these folders. Did I answer the question? I hope I did. I want to make sure that all questions are answered. How do we delete data row? Well, to delete the data row, you just filter it. Why would you want to delete the data row? You filter it, right? You apply the filters, okay? It's in the data preparation, correct? Because if it's a data row that you don't want to be visible for some reason, you don't want to be hiding it each time you create new dashboard. The whole idea is I'm gonna do it once and use multiple times, okay? Any more questions? I would like to hear questions. I love questions. And if I don't know the answer, then I will find out and get back to you. All right? Me or Mike? Mike is an excellent TA. So Mike graduated from this program, in fact. Okay? And my degree is also from UGC, but not in data. It was a DBST, the information technology and the DBST. And I've been in this program for many years since the beginning. So just some background. All right. Questions? Uh, well, not it's not quite tutoring, but what you're gonna do is you're gonna submit questions. Okay? Yeah, you're gonna get this presentation. You're gonna get the slides, and I will try to create some more videos. The important one is how to save your dashboard as a story. This is the important one. The important one is about the timeline. All right? Uh, okay, so basically put I'll try to put as many videos as possible. And this is also what I call customer service. If you need video on something, let me know, right? And it's gonna be created. Okay, it will also help people who take class in the future. Okay, so uh so for the data set, remember you're gonna select, there is a separate folder for the data set for the last assignment. Okay, what data should we use? Well, what errors? I will need to look at this. Okay, What errors exactly? You need to do the data preparation first. You need to look at the missing values and you need to explain how you handle them and why, right? There's more than one way, but you need to look at it. Depends on the data that you use. All right. Oh, thank you, David, for the feedback. I'm gonna create more. I'll make time this weekend to create more videos. How about that? Okay. All right. More questions, guys? No? Yes? Oh, well, the decision tree, I created the videos as well. So there is a video for decision tree. All right. And we're trying to create visualization on the market trends. Okay. Well, I will need to look at the visualization. Okay. So yes, so you need to put, please request if you want to see more on specific visualization type. Just request, like, let Mike know, and Mike is gonna tell me. Okay, when you submit the ticket, if Mike reads it, please let him know, and I'm gonna take that feedback. Okay, so I'll take this feedback and I'm gonna work on it. Okay, all right. So I guess more questions? No. Well, so you're gonna get the recording and the slides, and I'll try to create more video. And thank you guys all. Thanks for letting me know about the audio. Okay, thank you, and good luck with your assignments. Oh, I have to stop the recording. Okay. Hmm. Okay.